At dawn, the lagoon is a page no one has written on yet. The air tastes faintly of salt and damp mineral. My knees bend the wrong way, if you believe the drawings of children, who love to correct me. But I know which way is the ancient way, all angles answering gravity with patience. I stand on one leg, because stillness asks for a smaller doorway, and balance is a conversation you have with your own spine. A quiet shiver runs through the flock, the whispering rustle of feathers being unzipped and zipped again, and the first thin wind combs the water until it is a field of fine glass. I lower my head and the complex machinery of my beak takes over, that inverted sieve built by a long argument between hunger and mud. I pull the water in and push it out, my tongue a piston. Algae, brine shrimp, and tiny drifting answers become breakfast. When the sun climbs, my color brightens like a mood after a good story. This is not vanity, it is accounting. I am as pink as my meals and my luck allow. I have been paler in seasons of drought, and once, after a storm that turned the lagoon tea brown, I looked almost ghostly. My world writes itself on me. I carry it in the spectrum of my skin. I live in a crowd, because the crowd is a shape of safety, and also a mirror large enough to see myself in. We are thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, and yet the flock is not a noise. It is an instrument. From the sky we are a spill of rose petals. Someone forgot to clean up. From within, we are a democracy of knees and patience. The first lesson I learned as a chick was how to listen to many at once. The second was how to be heard without shouting. Our calls are reed hollow and trumpet bright. When the wind has its say, our voices turn the air into a stitched blanket. Sound holding sound, warmth holding warmth. Before I was pink, I was grey like evening. My mother and father, both of them, fed me with milk that was not milk, but a crop exudate, rich as kindness. My beak, not yet bent into its adult question mark, learned to sip. We chicks grew in a creche, a nursery city inside the city of the flock. We made a separate weather, dust lifted with too many small feet, laughter that wasn't laughter, but came close. When the lake's rim dried and cracked into plates, the towers moved. When a jackal's shadow stretched too near, the towers became thunder, and the jackal remembered an appointment elsewhere. Each season teaches another way to be a bird who trusts water that can change its mind. The lagoon recedes, we recede with it. The rains return, we return with them. I know the taste of alkaline lakes that hiss like old stories. I know the skim of snow on high-altitude flats, where flamingo breath comes out as steam and then disappears. I know Caribbean bays that light themselves at night when plankton are surprised by the oars of our legs, and I know African lakes that stain us copper, where volcanoes bleed their minerals into our throats. My passport is written in salt. No stamp is permanent. The dance is not a rumor. We do it in the slack hours, when the sun is a kinder supervisor. Heads held high, we march like a parade whose joke is only for those in it. We turn left together, and then right together. We extend our necks and show our black-tipped wings. We run, then stop, then run again, pretending to take off, and then laughing, if such a thing exists in birds, at our own seriousness. The dance is practice and flirtation, and proof that we remember how to be synchronized with something bigger than our belly. The dance says, I am here, my legs are strong, my color is honest, my timing is yours, if yours is mine. I have loved one bird at a time, and also the entire colony at once. The former is a matter of choosing, a shared march, a mutual tidy of feathers, a nest of mud, patted together until it rises a hand's breadth above the wet. The latter is a matter of fate, being born into an orchestra that never finishes the piece but keeps improving it. When our single large egg arrives, it is chalk white and singular as the moon. I have watched one egg roll off a careless slope and break with the soft, criminal sound that makes silence halt and listen harder. I have watched another hatch into a damp, furious miracle that yelled at the world for being bigger than it expected. Both memories are true at once. Both live in my neck when I curve it to sleep. Flight is a long yes that begins with running. The lake surface is less a mirror than a trampoline when we kick it enough times in succession, wings slapping the air into compliance. The first lift is always disbelief, turned into better physics. I have flown in storms that rearrange geography, and in mornings so clean they felt like the first dry plate after a wash. In the air we are commas in a pink sentence that stretches horizon to horizon, a sentence that means continue. The wind outlines our bodies with invisible chalk. When we turn our heads just so, we can see the entire flock at once, the line flexing like a muscle. I have watched our shadow pass over fish that paused to consider omen, over crocodiles that regarded us like moving weather, over people who clapped because something old had remembered. We are accused of ridiculousness by those who judge by color. Pink, they say, is unserious. We reply by standing through nights that knit frost into our ankles. We reply by eating dust and brine, and making from it a strut that can withstand weeks of bad decisions by the sky. We reply by facing up to mirrors, the flat ones water offers, and the taller ones humans bring, and failing to be fooled for long. Yes, sometimes I have mistaken my reflection for an echo that needed answering. But I learned. The beak cannot be negotiated with. It must filter. The eye remembers the difference between depth and picture eventually. You can measure me in grams of algae, or in kilometers flown, in eggs counted, or dances performed. But the truest measure is quieter, a beak dipping and lifting, a leg that trusts its own hinge, an eye that opens into day and closes into night without hurry. When the lake goes still, it keeps my reflection a little longer than it should, and then lets me go. I don't mind. Being let go is part of being held. The flock is moving. The wind has made up its mind again. The water remembers my stride. I step. I filter. I color myself with the work of living. I am a flamingo, and this is my world.